HooHooHooRobin.
All right, Anthony, you brought in the parents to child, parents talk to child about sex thing?
Yeah, that's one of the many educational films I was going through. You know how you're cruising around on the internet and you just kind of, you don't know how you end up at some place, but you're there? It's kind of one of those situations. I'm going around and I ended up on this film archive site. They had everything, you know. You want to see presidential speeches from the past and stuff from NASA and all just American history, world history, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And one of these archives was educational and industrial films. There's just a slew of them. So I'm checking them all out, and they had ones on perversion, and there were whole films on how girly magazines and men's fitness magazines cater to the homosexual. Don't let your child read these. He can turn into a homosexual. Very angry at the homosexuals. And one of them was called Boys Beware. We got to pull clips from that one. It's a whole thing on how boys have to beware of homosexuals that drive around in cars trying to pick them up at the basketball court in the high school. And they have these scenarios that play out, and it's so funny. Guy comes over and he offers a boy a ride home, and the boy takes it, and he gives him a gentle pat on the shoulder. Leads the boy to believe everything's gonna be okay. and then, like, next weekend, he was back at the school driving Billy home. He decided to ask him if he wanted to go fishing. They went fishing the next weekend. This is where he showed Billy some pornographic photography. And he shows him pictures. And before you know it, they were walking up into a hotel room together. And he put his arm around Billy.
What was the excuse that the homosexual used?
If things like this happen, be sure to tell your parents before it's too late. And you're led to believe that the kid takes it right up the keister in the hotel by the homo.
But how did he get him up into the hotel room?
He just talked him into it. And then the next scene is Billy and his parents, with Billy with his head down, walking out of the police station.
Not being able to sit down.
Billy finally told his parents, and you just know he was ravaged.
What kind of good pedophile takes a kid out 4 times before he bangs him?
Oh, I know. He was like dating this kid.
Whatever happened to a shallow grave after the first date?
Oh, God. That was another one, which I guess ended pretty quickly. A kid on a basketball court, and his friends left, and the kid wanted to play. You know, Johnny wanted to play a little longer. And this guy comes out and offers to play a game with him. And it's just this big, oafish old guy with the horseshoe bald head and the glasses. And he's playing basketball with the kid, and he offers him a ride home. And he goes, little did he know he traded a little more time at the basketball court for his life.
His life?
His life. That's
Wow.
it. This guy was thorough. No dating and fishing for him.
Yeah, this guy wasn't about waiting a month to see what the little boy had.
It's a shovel over the head.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, those clips are coming?
And there was no distinction in this between homosexuality and predator, pedophile, murderer. They were all grouped together.
Yeah.
The homosexual will prey on children.
So we got parents.
This is a little different. This is parents being educated by these doctors on sex, how to tell their kids about sex, and a lot of it is played out in scenario and
all right. The first clip is Mommy talks about vagina.
Yes, she does.
Mommy, I want to ask you something.
What is it, dear?
I know that the baby goes inside you. That's where Johnny was. But he seems so big. What I wonder is, how does he get out of there?
Oh.
Your belly button? It's too small.
Mary, the baby doesn't come out of your navel.
Uh-oh.
Let me tell you how it is.
Oh, boy.
There's a special opening
Yes.
just in front of the place where you have your BM. It's very,
what?
very tiny in a little girl.
It's
but
a
as you
special.
grow,
You
it
can't.
grows.
Sorry.
It's a special opening, right in front of the hole that you have your BM.
You're Big Moody from My Bodyguard?
How funny is that? Oh,
And you'll notice later in life that because you have that, it's the only reason men talk to you.
It is a special hole, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's a special hole.
Just in front of the place where you have your BM. It's very, very tiny in a little girl, but as you grow, it grows too. right along with the rest of you.
Slut.
Until when you're grown up, it gets to be just about this size. Now, when the baby's ready to be born, it stretches up to be about this size.
Holding her hands 3 feet
just
apart.
big enough for the baby to slip through, head first. Then, after the baby's born, it goes back to its regular size.
No, it doesn't.
You remember
Yeah.
how
Wishful
big
thinking.
my tummy stretched when the baby was growing in there?
Only if you have
and
a good
now,
doctor.
See, I'm flat again. I'm back to my regular size. Do you understand?
Why does Daddy
Yes, I
beat
think
you?
So, but if I forget it, you can always tell me again.
Maybe when Tabby has her kittens, you can see how they come.
Ugh.
I like that, but there's something else. How did the baby get started in there?
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Oh, no.
boy.
Oh. Daddy comes home drunk from the office, smelling of whiskey, and flips Mommy over. Remember that special hole I was talking about? Daddy doesn't treat it that special.
He makes it a BM, a bloody mess.
Oh. Oh. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Started in there.
The special opening that little girls have, the one I told you about, has a name, the vagina.
Aha.
Now, you know that little boys like our Johnny have a penis. You see his penis when we change his diapers.
Yes.
When a boy grows up and is ready to be a father, he is able to put his penis into the vagina,
Right.
that special opening that mothers have. And when he does this, he can plant the seed that starts a baby to grow.
Isn't this little girl a little too young to
Yeah.
to know this much?
It's very wrong. It is very wrong when you watch it. The kid's much too young. Just go, shut up, go outside and play.
The mother's leaving out the whole foreplay thing. The
All
whole
the good stuff.
always hold the bag, honey. You know, this mother stinks. An awful lay.
Oh. Put it in. You just know she lays there. Now put it in my special hole, dear. Plant your seed. Oh, God, I'm going back to my secretary. You stink.
All right, the next clip is about masturbation.
Yes.
Let me at this point make a clear-cut scientific statement. Masturbation is not harmful. The young child often plays with his genitals, and after puberty, masturbation is a common release mechanism for the sex drive. Growing boys will either masturbate to get rid of this energy or have a nocturnal emission, the so-called wet dream. Since sexual fantasies or dreams often accompany these experiences, the teenager will sometimes feel guilty or ashamed. What he needs right then is reassurance from his parents that they know these things happen and that the experience itself is not harmful to health or to normal growing up. Not important at all. It should be viewed as just a passing phase.
That
Parents are
lasts a
very wrong
lifetime.
to add to guilt by terrifying the teenager with fables and myths, or by giving the impression that the genital areas are evil or taboo. These misstatements and misconceptions are the real dangers.
Writing a song parody? Taboo.
Is he doing a radio show with Anthony?
Tell him it's okay to put it wherever he wants.
That's creepy, man.
Yeah.
Thank God he wasn't teaching me that crap.
No. Who's listening to that guy about
Exactly.
masturbation? Funky Treasure says, sometimes Daddy puts it where Mommy has her BM. Oh, that's great. Yeah, these films are
What is
really
BM,
funny.
by the way?
A bowel movement.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
That's an older
Yeah.
days term for going to the bathroom or taking a dump.
BM.
A BM. Or making poo-poo. Or poopies, as they tell the kids these
Toolbag
days.
Johnson from New Orleans writes, doesn't BM stand for bend movement?
Old gravy leg. Dear, it's the special hole right in front of the place that makes you have gravy leg.
You're going to need club soda when Ricky comes back because we're running out of things to do.
Getting a little
All
short.
right, good. All right, so the next clip is the doctor talking about wet dreams, I guess.
Is this,
We really want
Yeah.
the homosexual audio.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that.
That's on the way?
This is great stuff, though.
All right.
I love this
Every
stuff.
so often I get a strong sex urge, and the only way I can take care of it is to masturbate. And when I do, I feel awful. It's just like I've committed a crime or something. And it worries me, and I say, well, I won't do it anymore. And when I do, it goes away for a while, and I come back and do it again. And when I do control myself for a while, I end up with a wet dream.
Well, Jimmy Norton, what you have to do is calm down. You're a sex addict. Oh, gee, like I committed a crime, Beeve.
I know, it sounds like Leave It to Beaver.
You know, Wally, I was playing with myself last night and I felt like a creep. Oh, don't worry about it, Beeve. Mom has to wash my sheets every hour on the hour. I'm jerking it all the time. Well, me and Lumpy went out behind in the house in the woods, and he was all lumpy in his pants. And I won't even tell you what happened to Whitey. It was all Whitey in my face. It sounds like, because it is from the same time. It's, the 50s, so they get these whiny little kid. Oh, and I didn't know what to do. Just grab it, crank it, and go out. Have fun.
Next thing you know, I'm feeding a hooker a bran muffin, laying underneath her yelling, "Bombs away."
I felt like a creep or something. It's okay to take logs on your chest. Don't be embarrassed.
All right. I can do this. Hold on.
Oh, man.
All right, cool.
Beaver! Beaver! Gee, I hope Dad doesn't come up here and catch me spanking the monkey, Wally. Oh, it's okay. Dad does it all the time. Mom doesn't like getting it in her special hole in front of the place she has her BM. So, is this how you do it, Wally? Sure, Beef, just grab on and crank away. Everything will be fine. But what if I make a mess? That's what Mom's for, Beef, to clean up our mess. Sure, Beef, the men in the house make messes everywhere, whether it's in that special hole or on the sheets like you boys. Mom'll clean it up, 'cause that's her job. It's the 50s. She's there to clean up our sexual fluids and to take my punches in the face when I'm pissed off from a day at the office. Now crank away, kids, and don't worry about the laundry. That's Mom's job.
She also cooks a mean pot roast.
Ah, isn't it nice to have someone to clean up your fluids and make a nice roast at the end of it all? It's the 50s, and it's wonderful.
It's great.
The 50s just seemed so great. Everyone was stupid.
If you missed the 50s, move to Toronto. They're still living it.
Are they?
Oh, my God.
Hey, I want to talk about masturbation, eh? A boot. Put a boot in your dog's liver.
What's this swimming naked clip?
Oh, well, they're just discussing things, Opie.
The adolescent boy has other problems, too. I'm talking about his problems in growth and development, which can be as disturbing to him as his sex pressures.
Boy, how do I always get the top locker?
Two boys in the
That
locker room.
junior team you're on looked pretty good today. You guys better watch out. You might make the finals.
Yeah, but we'd be a lot better if I were bigger. I'm sure getting tired waiting to grow up. It's no fun being such a scrawny kid. It may sound funny to you, but boy, when I change my pants, I'd like to crawl in that locker. I feel so undeveloped.
That's not so funny. Before we moved here, I used to go to a school where we had to go swimming in the Bear. I was so embarrassed about the size of my penis that we used to dread the days we had to go swimming. Even though it was my best sport, and I was good at it, too, like you. Boy, what I wouldn't have given for a fig leaf.
For a
even
big
from a small
schlong.
tree.
Well, how do you think I feel?
He's got a little dick. That is so fun. What school is he going to where they swim naked?
Dude, we did this, we talked about stuff like this in the past, and a bunch of people came out of the woodwork saying that they were forced to swim naked in high school.
Unbelievable that was actually going on. They would swim naked? Could you imagine? Gee, Dad, I feel a little embarrassed going swimming. I feel like a creep or something. I get in the pool and I got a little schlong. That's okay, Beaver. I had a little schlong when I used to go swimming, but look how big and thick and fat it's gotten. Whoa, Dad, put that away. That's what your mom says. Right before I put it where she has her BM. And then she just says, ouch, ooch. And she has to wash the sheets again. That's her job, you know. You know, Dad, sometimes when you go to work, Eddie Haskell comes over and Mom makes the same sounds in her bedroom that she makes when you're in there. Well, really? How about that, Beaver? Eddie Haskell's becoming quite a man. You know, someday, those girls at school are going to want you to put it in the special hall. And that's when you flip them over and put it in their balloon knot. What's a balloon knot, Dad? Well, blow up a balloon, tie it in a knot, and look into where you just blew. What does that look like? Oh, I get it, Dad. It's the place where the BM comes from. Sure.
Sure it is.
God, the 50s rocked. Wish I was there. Do anything you want.
Here you go, dude.
Everything was in black and white.
Hold on. Let's go to Mike. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Hey, what's up? We used to swim naked in school.
Told you.
Naked in school. All right, so you're what? You're 60 years old?
36.
I'm 36.
Where were you swimming naked?
We were in Cheektowaga outside of Buffalo, New York.
Ah, that makes sense now. And what would they say? What was the first day you had to do this? What was that like?
It was like, what the fuck? I got to get naked to swim with fucking 30 guys.
And the teacher just said, take your clothes off?
Yeah. They did not give us bathing suits, and we weren't allowed to wear bathing suits because they said that the soap clogged the filters or something like that.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of guys who all had to do it the same thing, and I mean, it was fucking weird. And once I got in high school and stuff, I was like, I ain't doing this anymore. I mean, what the fuck? You play chicken with fucking a naked sack on your neck? You know, fuck that.
Jesus.
All right. Well, there you go. I told you, Aunt.
I didn't know that was going on.
The logic of it is crazy, but
this day and age.
Mike in Jersey. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hey, you really pulled a boner this time, Beav. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, some words take on different meanings.
Greco-Roman wrestling when I was in school. Don't be such a baby.
Stop it. They did not.
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
You never know, though.
They did in the olden days do that. Not like really older, but in school they would have the kids wrestle naked.
Come on.
Ugh.
No way.
No, I read that.
Mac, what's up?
In one of those homosexual magazines.
Kill the bit, man. They're new sponsors.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Kill the bit. It's a new sponsor. Probably. Very funny.
Yeah, very good. That's very funny.
Sure.
All right, Anthony, the next clip is about menstruation.
Ah, menstruation.
There's been a real change in our approach to education about menstruation. It's hard to believe what grandmother experienced, but let's hear her story.
Here's Grandma talking about it.
I'll never forget when I was 14 years old. I went to the little outhouse on our farm.
Outhouse.
My new dress was stained, and there was blood on my underclothes.
Hey, really, Granny? Sounds hot. Did Grandpa put it where you BM?
Maybe it was red from slaughtering an American Indian, you rotten old bag.
We had just returned from a lynching when I noticed I was bleeding.
The front of my underpants looked like I was attacked with a bingo splatter. Old copper panties.
Oh, God.
Oh. All right, wow.
Blood on my underclothes. I ran inside and showed my mother. And all she said was, "You're menstruating," and turned and walked away. I had to find out how to take care of myself from my cousin.
Were any of your girlfriends told in advance by their mothers?
No, I'm afraid not. They were just as scared as I was.
Laura
And some
Ingalls,
them
all
had
of them.
older sisters who told them. One thing I was sure of. I would never let this happen to my daughter.
Why do you suppose your mother didn't tell you in advance?
Ignorance. Just plain stupid ignorance.
Oh, calm down, Granny.
Jeez, she's got some mother issues.
No kidding.
I remember. And then this young Union soldier came by my house, and he had fired a shot. It went through his testicles and hit me in the ovary, and I was pregnant. You can read about me on urbanlegends.com. What's .com? I have no clue. It's the 50s. Oh, my big bloomers just stained. Oh.
That just sounds awful.
Disgusting.
That's funny, though.
I was dirty.
Well, here we go. A little discussion about sanitary napkins.
Ah, here you go.
Mommy, what's this?
Well, I guess, honey, you're old enough now to understand these things.
She's
Those
one.
are sanitary pads for me, honey.
Yeah, really.
Mommy, what's this? Well, here you go. He takes his big schlong. Oh.
Yeah, hold on. Let's start over. Hold on. Okay. Come on.
Mommy, what's this?
Well, I guess, honey, you're old enough now to understand these things. Those are sanitary pads for me, honey. You know that mothers have a special place inside them where the babies grow before they come out? Well, each month in a grown-up woman, a sort of soft, nesty place builds up.
Soft, nesty place or nasty place?
Nesty?
A soft, nesty place. That's how she's describing her womb.
Oh.
It's the 50s, though. She should be describing the outside of it as nesty. Nasty and nesty. Looks like a vulture's nest out there. Oh, you just know it's big and awful. No hygiene going on down there.
In a grown-up woman, a sort of soft, nesty place builds up. And some of the nest is blood. And if a woman is going to have a baby, she needs this nest for the baby to grow in.
Unless
now,
Daddy
let me tell
kicks
you
her
what
in it.
pads are for. If no baby has started there, then the blood in the nest isn't needed. And it just dribbles out of the vagina for a few days. And then the
Dribbles.
Sometimes Mommy sneezes and stains the linoleum.
That's awful.
Do they explain crime scene sex?
Dribbles. No.
No.
And then a fresh new nest place starts building up. That's what the pads are for, to catch the blood.
Does it hurt?
It shouldn't. It's something that happens to every girl when she grows up.
Now have a Lucky. You're old enough. Light up a Lucky. Puff away, dear. What are you now, 2? Here you go. It's Lucky Children's cigarettes. Smoke for your health. Now included with your dolly, a pack of Lucky Strike. Oh, soft, nesty, nasty.
A lot of great instant feedback coming in, by the way. Big Dog from Texas. Ben didn't want to swim naked because his dong would drag along the bottom. Unfortunately, I can't do impressions, but Funky Treasure from CringeHumor.net. Did you read this one? I'm not sure. He writes us a lot every morning. Wally, I saw Mom make a BM on Dad's chest last night.
Gee, Wally.
And then J-Mac from...
I don't want you to get scared by what you saw last night, Wally. Dad, it was kind of creepy. Gee, Dad, I saw Mom squatting over you, and she was having a BM on your chest. No, Wally. Although on the outside this might look odd, it's quite pleasurable when Mom drops logs on my chest. Oh, sure, we've done that ever since college. It might stink a little, and, well, I don't tell the boys down at the office about it, but it's perfectly normal. Maybe when you're out on a date, you could have a girl drop logs on your chest or face if you're a real trooper. You know, it started years ago when I used to play Monster Rain with some of the boys in my neighborhood. Monster Rain, Dad? Sure, Wally. That's when you yell, "Monster Rain's coming," and run under the porch, and all of a sudden we fillet each other.
Ain't the 50s great?
Gee, I'm going to go play that with Eddie Haskell, Dad. Sure, you go run off and play. Monster Rain. And grab a couple of Luckies on your way out and puff away. I love a Lucky Strike. And striking your mom. Oh, it's the 50s, you know.
So did we play the sanitary napkins one, sort of? Yeah, right?
Yeah, we got
And then
that
J Mac from Philly writes, why does Ant have to tell everyone he isn't taking part in the gag? Why does he have to separate himself from the group all the time?
I'm offended by it.
All right. Ant talks about her period?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get
a
this
little
one
period
on here.
talk.
Come on.
And when did you first learn about menstrual periods?
Oh, I really can't remember. I just always sort of seemed to know something about it, and I knew that I'd have them someday.
Her
I do
voice is
remember,
awful.
though,
Knew
when
that
I
I'd
started to
have them.
develop.
Like, I don't know where this accent is from, but it's horrible. It's nothing sexy about this. I knew I'd have them. Yeah.
When I started to develop, my mother reminded me that I'd probably be starting soon, and that's when she went into the sort of information that you gave in the animation. Not as clearly as that, but I felt I knew what the score was. And then she did a very practical thing. She gave me a belt and a pad, and I was all set.
Belt and a pad.
Most of my friends' mothers didn't do it this well, though. Among my friends, it really ran the gamut about what they knew and what they didn't know.
A belt and a pad. Ah, the good old days. Yeah, you buckle up like a fighter pilot when you have your period.
With a Gucci belt buckle.
We ought to get pads and belts for him. For Noah. Have him wear that around the office.
A belt and a pad.
A pad and a belt. Nice. Any others?
One more?
No one ever mentions that you can wear 2 pads on a heavy day, or that tampons are all right even if you aren't married. The fact is...
What is that about?
Well, you didn't want to put anything in there if you're not married. Because then if you have a husband who's checking you out, you know, some husbands would actually check out the woman and make sure she's intact. And women were afraid that a tampon would break that and make her look like a slut to her husband who's searching for a virgin.
Here's another clip on Ant's period.
Apple, why would you bring him a computer?
Monarchy.
All right?
Yeah.
All right.
No one ever mentions that you can wear 2 pads on a heavy day, or that tampons are all right even if you aren't married. The fact is, a lot of girls do get cramps in the first couple of days, and I know then I'm limited for some sports.
You mean that what you really needed to know is that menstruation is a nuisance, but not something terribly unpleasant.
To guys.
Oh, I don't know. But after a few periods, a girl becomes very aware of some of these nuisance factors. Really, they're just inconveniences for the most part. Of course, it's nothing like in my mother's day. Not nearly so restricted. You should hear my mother laugh about her high school gym class. All the ladies who were having their periods had to get in their gym suits. Then they sit along the sidelines, radiating their attainment of womanhood and smugly enjoying their femaleness, while the rest of them whacked the volleyball.
Whack the volleyball. Ugh. What an accent.
Yeah.
Pads. I wear pads.
That is weird. That is weird stuff.
Right, they're all whacking a volleyball, and mom and her other friends are just there bleeding against the wall.
Bleeding against the wall. Oh, that is disgusting. I love big, thick double pads on there.
Dribbling out.
Oh.
Looks like Dracula with Down syndrome.
Dracula. Sometimes I'd have to wear 2 pads. Oh. It was pretty disgusting when I had to put on 2 pads. It looked like I was wearing a diaper. You know, a bloody diaper. Oh. You should tell your children about this so they're not embarrassed. What an awful accent that was. Sometimes I wish I'd be sexually active, but not with this accent. God damn it. I'm banging Sipowicz over here. Hey, come on. Put it in my ass. Come on, you lousy skill. That's horrible.
Oh, how cute. There's Katie doing some sledding this morning on the Today Show.
Hit a tree. Leaving a red stripe down the mountain. I'm having my period.
All right, let's go to the phones and say hi to.
Wonderful.
Let's say hi to Greg real fast. Greg, what's up? Greg.
Hello.
Greg.
Greg.
Hold on.
Greg.
Don't forget to send them out for the unfrosted Pop-Tarts. Make sure they're unfrosted because they're harder to get.
Yeah, the brown sugar Pop-Tarts.
Brown sugar, yes.
Very good. Yeah, my blood sugar level is getting a little weird. Let's say hi to Seth. Hey, Seth, what's up?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Hey.
I went to a boarding school up in Newburgh called Storm King. They had 3 awful nozzles in the shower. No separation, just 3 nozzles. And I don't know what the water was up there, but all these guys had these huge freaking hogs, and I'm sitting there with just a medium-sized normal guy. It was horrible. I was in 9th grade.
Were they all retarded with those big hogs?
Did they all look like Ben?
They all look like Ben. These big black penises just all over the place. It was really traumatic.
Were any of them herky?
That old lady on that clip is probably Lady Di, punching out.
All right, thank you. There you go, Seth. All right, we should step aside and take a break. Well, are we going to get the homosexual clips? Is Steve still working on those?
Homosexuals.
All right, Steve's working on the homosexual clips.
Yeah, that's great. That was all they had back then, education. You don't see those anymore. Do they still even play stuff like that in school? They have to update it, and, we're so PC now that everything's got to be just right, so I think they would just opt not to make these anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're damn interesting to watch. I was watching some. I didn't bring in any, but on wartime propaganda and some of the films back then. They had this film that was about the Japanese during World War II, and it was supposed to be a Japanese guy talking. It was an American guy dressed up in makeup like a Jap, and he's like, "Let me tell you about my Japan. We are working the war effort to beat you American." And it was just the most racist, hate-filled thing I've ever seen. It was great.
Where's our propaganda music that we were playing last week? All right, we'll get...
And some of these things are directly responsible for the A-bomb being dropped. Because they went into send your people over. We will fight to the last man. There are millions of us here in Tokyo and all over Japan that will fight. We will never stop. Send your waves of soldiers over. We will beat them. We will kill all of you. And it's got to be like, geez, this guy sounds serious. Why don't we just drop a huge bomb from the sky and kill them all? And as you land back on the safe runway of your base, you can light up a Lucky Strike cigarette. Yes, when that match lights and the end of your lucky glows, think of the glowing Japs in Hiroshima, writhing in pain and radiation as you draw that fresh, clean tobacco taste of your Lucky Strike. And know when you go back home, the Japs will be sitting in internment camps, never to annoy you with their funny faces. Light up a Lucky Strike and celebrate America's victory over the animal Japanese. They aren't really human, When you burn them out of their caves with your flamethrowers, use that last spark to light a Lucky. Yes, American troops, smoking Lucky, being lucky. Lucky Strike. Every Lucky you smoke stands for a dead Jap. Lucky Strike cigarettes. Yeah, I got nothing else.
That's right. That was funny.
My tank ran dry.
All right.
Robin,